Joining me now is Mona Charen, Senior Fellow at the Ethics and Public Policy Center. Mona, welcome back to the program.
Glad to be here.
Did President Trump undermine efforts to confirm Judge Kavanaugh with his personal attacks last night?
Sure. You could see it in the faces of and the comments of Susan Collins and Murkowski and Flake. This was just not helpful. The president had been restrained last week, saying she seemed like a fine woman and so on and so forth.
Credible.
And credible. And now he could not resist, and he put his foot in it and made it into a bit of a clown show. And unfortunately, that does, yes, make it harder.
And it makes it harder because?
He is playing into the stereotypes, right? He's mocking a woman who made very painful revelations about her experience. And anybody who then gets on board with that kind of treatment of women who come forward is going to get a backlash by a lot of people who think that this is an important moment in our society to change the way we treat women who have the courage to come forward.
Do you think there's been a double standard in the way the public and the media have scrutinized both Judge Kavanaugh and Dr. Blasey Ford?
Well, look, I do think that if the parties were reversed, then the press, many members of the press on both sides would be saying the complete opposite, right? They would, as we saw in the Clinton years, people who had been very worried about sexual harassment, suddenly when it was Bill Clinton, a lot of feminists and so forth came forward and said, oh, well, it was consensual and there really wasn't any harm here and so forth. There's a lot of hypocrisy to go around. So
well, this is Washington after all. I mean, it's, different day, same story.
Same
right?
story, yeah.
Right. In the era of Me Too, do you think that there can be a rush to judgment in the desire to obtain justice?
Yeah, so up until now, I actually think that the Me Too movement has been quite a positive thing for our culture. And I think with a few exceptions, it has not gone too far, hasn't railroaded innocent men for the most part. But
well, Bill O'Reilly, there's a list of people who I think would disagree with you, but okay,
they
go
might,
ahead.
but I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that Bill O'Reilly got his just desserts. On the other hand, with Kavanaugh, you have seen this unbelievable explosion of allegations. I'm speaking not about Ford, which is a separate thing. But the other allegations that have been dredged up are so ridiculous and they don't pass the smell test. And they really do reek of political advantage and trying to weaponize the Me Too movement and make it a partisan cudgel.
We only have just 10 seconds to go, but I just want to know, do you think the contents of the report should be made public?
Just as with raw FBI files that are often provided to members of Congress to help them make decisions, I don't think that the public should have access to just gossip, but to the general outline. Yes, we had support. No, we didn't have support for her allegation. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. Mona Charen, Senior Fellow at the Ethics and Public Policy Center. Thanks for joining us.